the singing monster. In a land unlike any other, filled with vibrant colors and magical creatures, there lived a large, furry monster named Boombo. Unlike the terrifying monsters from bedtime stories, Boombo was kind, joyful, and full of life. His soft blue fur shimmered under the morning sun, and his glowing eyes reflected the warmth in his heart. Boombo lived in Harmony Hollow, a place where creatures of all shapes and sizes coexisted. There were tiny fireflies that twinkled like stars, musical frogs that croaked in perfect harmony, and dragons that painted the sky with rainbows. But Boombo had one special love: singing, a voice that shook the world. Every morning, Boombo would wake up with a song in his heart, eager to share it with his friends. He would pick up his microphone, take a deep breath, and let his booming voice fill the air. But instead of applause, his singing sent shockwaves through the valley. Boom, boom, bang. Quote, the trees shook, the rivers rippled, and the tiny creatures scattered in fear. The frogs stopped croaking, the birds fell silent, and the little critters hid behind rocks and bushes. Oops, Boombo mumbled, looking at the startled animals. Boombo didn't understand. He loved music, and his voice felt like a gift. But to the others, it was too loud, too strong, too overwhelming. No matter how much he tried to sing softly, his deep, powerful voice would echo through the mountains, sending everyone running. Soon, Boombo found himself alone. The loneliness of a giant heart. Boombo longed for friendship, for someone who would enjoy his singing rather than run away from it. He tried humming instead of singing, but it still made the ground tremble. He tried whispering melodies, but his voice still echoed across the hills. The more he tried to hold back his voice, the sadder he became. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Boombo wandered through the silent forest. He saw the other creatures gathered around a small, yellow monster with orange spots. Zippy. Zippy was tiny, cheerful, and had a beautiful singing voice that filled the air with soft, sweet melodies. The creatures clapped and cheered, happy to listen to Zippy's gentle songs. Boombo watched from a distance, his heart heavy. I wish I could be like that, he sighed. I wish I could sing without scaring everyone away. But just as he turned to leave, he heard a different voice. A deep, resonant sound that hummed in perfect harmony with Zippy's. Boombo looked closer and saw another monster. A green fuzzy creature with a scarf, singing boldly, his deep voice sending waves of energy through the air. But the difference was, everyone loved it. Boombo's eyes widened. How was it that this monster, with a voice just as strong, was not scaring anyone away? Finding his place, determined to understand, Boombo approached Zippy the next day. Zippy, he asked, how can I sing like you? Quote, Zippy smiled. Boombo, your voice isn't the problem. It's how you use it. Have you ever tried singing with others instead of alone? Quote, Boombo blinked. He had always sung by himself. Come on, Zippy encouraged. Sing with me. But this time, listen to my melody and follow along. Boombo hesitated, then nodded, as Zippy began a cheerful tune. Boombo waited for the right moment. When he finally sang, he started softly, blending his deep voice with Zippy's high notes. The sound was beautiful, rich, and full of warmth. The other creatures didn't run away. Instead, they smiled, swayed, and clapped to the rhythm. Boombo had found his place. A monster's secret. From that day on, Boombo was no longer alone. He sang alongside Zippy, the green monster, and other friends who loved music. He learned that his voice wasn't meant to be hidden, but shared in harmony. And so, Harmony Hollow was filled with music like never before. Deep, soft, high, and low, all voices together, making a symphony of friendship and acceptance. Boombo had finally discovered his secret. His voice wasn't too loud. It was simply waiting for the right melody.